on Breaking Into. It's Pride Month. Well, it's Pride Month, period. But we're doing it here my way. And I have some guests who are going to help me celebrate. Stay tuned.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Lives. Breaking Into.
When I wake up in the morning, I feel music. And it feels so strongly, it gets me out of bed. When I wake up in the morning, I hear melody. It sounds so amazing when I do. When I get out of bed, I want to dance. I move an extra step. I really do. Welcome to Breaking Into. You're hearing one of my new songs called I Am Living My Truth. That is very important. I'm going to talk about that, why it's very important this month especially. I'm your host, James Lott Jr., and it's Breaking Into, of course. I am back. I've been gone a few weeks. I'm still alive. I went to the doctor today. Apparently I'm okay. I'm doing fine. So I'm here and I'm back with you guys. I'm so happy to be here. And I'm happy to celebrate Pride Month. It kicked off June 1st. LA just came off of their kind of Pride week and weekend. I stayed at home. I was prideful at home. Like that. And I have two guests who are part of this series that I found while one night on the internet. See, something good. And, you know, G-rated or PG rated, to say. Yeah, ooh. I found it. Anyway, so these two people, I'm very happy to have them in my room with me. This person, I met him at the Daytime Emmys finally.
Finally, I'm so excited.
We saw each other,
we finally saw each other.
And I met your online family.
You did.
At the Daytime Emmys. I did, the online family. He is the creator, producer, writer, and star. He plays Kai Williams on the series that is so good. It's called Pride the Series. My friend, Dorell Anthony.
Hi, thank you so much for having me here
today.
Okay,
now we're here together.
We're here together. This is going to be insane. I can't wait.
Yeah. And the guy sitting next to him, his character has been through a lot. Yeah. And he writes for you, so I'm like, he puts you through a lot of stuff. He does. It's kind of crazy. And his name is so hard to remember on the series. And in real life. But it's the same thing. It's Adam Rios.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to be here. Now, you can follow us on iTunes. You can follow us on YouTube. It's Black Hollywood Live, Breaking Into. All of my 2.5 years worth of episodes are on there. So I have all kinds of guests. I mean, I've had anybody from Patrice Lovely, who is in the Medea movies, to Shabadoo Quinones, to Tony Basil. It's a great, and these people will be on here too. It's a great series. So go over to iTunes, go to YouTube, subscribe, like, comment. Tell me how great and how good I look. Or just talk about how the show is for you and tell me if you like it or not. Either one. Do whatever you want. And also, our page is on Breaking Into on Facebook. So go there and have more information. I have more stuff about their series on there and what they do. And I guess I need to, my throat all of a sudden, let's do a cheers.
A little
cheers.
Let's
cheers. Yes. It's very hot in LA.
Yes.
Very hot in LA. And I'm like, and we're having a little bit of a drink. It's just water.
Mm-hmm. Agua.
Yeah, with a little flavoring in it.
Right.
Before we get in and talk to them, I actually want to start off on a serious note. So there's been a rash of, which has been going on for a long time, but there's been a rash of suicides and people who have mental health issues who are not getting help. I want to tell you there are organizations out there, if you are LGBTQ, any of that spectrum, a person of color who's having problems with their sexuality or problems with their family, or feel like you are not being heard or seen and need help, there are organizations like the Trevor Project, which does a lot of work. I do some work with them. But also, I hear you. I see you. I may not know who you are, but I hear you and I see you. I'm a person who goes to therapy once a week. I totally understand what that means. There's no shame. I see what's going on for you. If you want to send me an email or a tweet or a private message, I am an ear and a shoulder. So I just make sure you guys all know that we are here for you. Breaking Into is here for you. I'll make sure I say that.
Absolutely. I think that that's very important. I mean, Pride the Series as well, we're huge advocates, and there's so many mental health issues and people really struggling right now in our country. We really want to be very mindful of that.
Yes.
You know, everything that's been happening is very sad. This week happens to be the anniversary of Pulse Orlando.
Yes.
Which is horrific and, you know, completely in a different spectrum. But, you know, we really all need to be there for each other. So we're here for you, too. So tweet us.
Yes. And if you're somebody who's a survivor of Orlando and that would happen there, or a family member, because we miss our people sometimes, it's really hard, or somebody who's afraid to come out because something like that happened.
Yeah.
Talk to one of us, and like I said, I will pass you on to the right person, or you just want to have a shoulder to cry on. I'm
exactly.
here.
Yeah. Everyone needs somebody to talk to.
I feel like I always say this, and my followers know this, we're part of the village, and I'm part of this village mentality, and the village looks out for each other.
Exactly. Absolutely. It takes a village, people.
It does. It took a village to raise me. I'll say that.
And look how you turned out perfect, I think.
I don't do edibles at home. Did I say that out loud?
What?
Yes. We got some fun today, but I first want to show a picture, the first picture, because like I said, we finally got a chance to meet.
And it's us at the daytime Emmys.
We look so good.
Aw, cute.
That looks so good.
My
That
purple,
is
my
such a
purple
cute
suit.
photo.
You look so cute yourself. Your little outfit.
Well, people don't have no idea how hot it was.
It was
It's
so-
always
I bet
hot
it
at the
was.
daytime Emmys, and like
Ugh.
sweat was just bad.
It was
and I
bad.
wanted a cocktail like nobody's business. I was so thirsty, and they kept saying, "Do these interviews." I was like, "The only one I'm gonna do is James Lott because I've been dying to meet him."
Yes.
and then I'm going inside because I'm hot.
It was okay. So there, folks, it was Pasadena, which is kind of northeast of where I live in LA, and it was warm.
Yeah.
It was totally warm. Well, the sun kept going in and out. It would get cool for a second, and then it was hot again.
And you know,
Cool
black
for a
people
second.
don't like the heat.
Yeah, I was a chocolate puddle up by the end.
Like no,
I was, but I was trying to wear my purple suit. I was trying to show to everybody. So
you look so good.
we worked it out, but we finally got a chance to meet. And also, I wrote this in my notes. I just realized something this whole time about you and I that we have in common.
Okay,
Mind the gap.
we do have the gap.
My mother goes, he has a gap like you do. I'm like, oh my God, I've watched your series. I never even thought of it before.
It's like a good luck thing. You know, when I was so self-conscious about my gap when I was in high school.
Yes.
You know, going through junior high and high
Yes.
school, people tease you for many different things. And I went and got braces because also my teeth had also set out. So I got these braces and everything, and I was terrible because I like to eat. And broke the braces off the back of it, like the permanent braces. And so they were like, well, your teeth straightened up, but now you're going to have a gap for the rest of your life. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, how that's going to be with acting? And I was actually at the Daytime Emmys last year, and I've been doing GH, of course, and Michelle Stafford came up to me.
My buddy.
And she said, your gap is good. Don't ever change that. And I was like, what? And I was like, she's right. I'm never changing it. Plus, it's too much money, and I ain't got it.
You.
It is. And like I said, Michelle's my buddy. Everybody knows she's my buddy. My mother has a gap.
Mm-hmm.
My brother has a gap. And my sister got braces twice, and it's opened back up both times.
I'm back again.
Yeah, it's meant to be.
I said, God wants you to have a gap.
Yes.
That is.
That's what it was. And I love it. But the same thing, I was always kind of self-conscious about it at first, but
Yeah.
it's part of me. I think of Madonna,
Right.
Yeah.
David Letterman, Lauren Hutton. I mean, they all have gaps. Michael Strahan, I get to meet Michael Strahan, actually. He has his gap.
He does. And, you know, I think that when we're growing up and, you know, we want to be, especially in the entertainment business where it's the face, where we're showing our faces all the time, it's like, all right, so this always has to be right. Everything else can be, we can fix that.
Yes.
But this always got to be right. So the first,
I'm gonna need a little face too.
right, the first blemish you see, the first gap, you're like, how's this going to work out? Like, it's really self-conscious, but, you know, I ain't got no jobs not handed to me yet because of it, so...
Since this is an R-rated, X-rated show, I've gotten some really good use out of my gap.
Ooh, I like that.
That's all I gotta say about that.
And that's what I meant by jobs. But
Yeah, oh, you're right, yeah, right,
okay,
yeah,
I just wanted to let you know.
Sip that tea. Sip that tea. I'm sure more tea will be spilled. But I want to make sure I say this. I finally noticed that we have the Gap thing in common.
Yeah,
I mean, you're my brother, Gap brother.
we might be. My daddy was a Rolling Stone.
So is mine. So
Who knows?
I have found out I had siblings later, but that's another show by itself.
Right. That's a difference. That's
Yes. Okay. So can you show the poster for Pride, the series? I want to show this poster.
Yeah.
So I want to give a little background, folks out there, that I'm gonna have them explain what Pride is, but I'm gonna say my first background was that as you all know, I'm all about digital series. I've had about 7 or 8 on the show, and I'm also doing one later, Ladies of the Lake. I love digital series. To me, they're not the future; they're now. And there's some digital series, and like yours, are brilliantly produced. The cinematography is great. The stories are good. The acting is great. Some people you may know and wondering where they are, they're in these digital series. Like, it's no joke. They're in all of them. They're sprinkled everywhere. And I was looking around. It really was late at night one night. I get on the YouTube rabbit hole. And I'm looking around or whatever. And I found your series.
Wow,
That's great.
I love that.
And then I contacted you.
You did. And I had been wanting to contact you for quite some time. And I was like, okay, if I slide into his DMs, how is he going to take this? And every time I thought about contact you, it was like late at night. So I was like, and if I message him late at night, he's going to be like, okay, what you slide in my DMs for?
It go down to the DM.
It does go down to DMs. So I finally was like, you know what? Fine, we'll end up meeting, and you did, and you were so gracious. And I always say that having people like you in this medium who support what we do, know what we do, understand what we do, and give us this opportunity to give it to a larger audience is so important. And I can't thank you enough for that.
My pleasure. It's funny because you're like the 6% person who's like, I wanted to say hi to you, but I'm afraid to say something. I'm like, talk to me. If you have just talk to me. I'm here.
Well, that's because I was scared because I was being hoish at 3 a.m. trying to get you in. So that's what I'm talking about.
Well, that's another story too, right? Mm-hmm. So now tell people who have not watched the series What is Pride the series?
Well, I mean, first of all, that poster, I want to comment. Like, when we made that poster, as you guys can probably tell, Kanye West had made a similar poster for,
yes,
you
I
know,
know that, yes.
and I'm mad at him right now. So, you know,
Right.
sorry, but our poster looks so great, and we really came up with that concept. So I just love that poster.
I love the diversity of the poster. That's why everybody in there.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I really loved about it too. It's just you have an entire representation of just kind of anything that you can think of, I think.
We got a whole buffet of it.
Pretty much.
You do.
Yeah.
And Adam's in there.
I sure am.
Not looking like this.
But not looking like this. This is Butch Queen right here. But I'm giving you fish in that photo right there.
But
Or I'm
you
trying
know,
to.
Adam, you're so handsome.
Thank you.
You really got a great
Why
smile.
you tell him that?
I can't help it. I got a little crush on him, I think. Now that you may see him in person.
I mean, girl, you know, I'm single, ready to mingle.
This is definitely
but
another
live in New
show.
York.
Thank you.
But live in New York, don't you?
Yeah.
But we stay on a plane.
And that's
I literally just saw you a month ago.
You
but
did, actually, you did. I know.
I stay on the plane. I mean, Pride is such a treasure close to my heart. Coming from a small town in East Texas, I had very few people who understood me. You know, I had some really great friends. You know, Stephanie Lucio, April Moore, Heather Wilbanks. Hi guys, shout out.
Give them shout outs. That's right.
Who really were there for me. You know, as I was coming out and really learning about who I was. You know, I created the show really wanting to, first of all, not knowing it was going to ever be anywhere.
Well,
like
let's stop there for a second, because who just creates your show? Like, where did that? Were you always like a producer, creator, writer? I mean, what you?
No, I mean, in elementary, I wrote two things called, because I used to be inspired by Sunset Beach. Okay,
I was Sunset Beach.
I love Sunset Beach when they did the tsunami
Yes,
and the
I remember.
earthquake.
Yes,
so
the earthquake,
I did
yes.
this play called Shockwave. I don't know where I got that name from.
That's Shockwave.
Copyright. Sorry,
Oh, that's so
sorry,
funny.
spelling family. But I wrote those, but they were like little plays, you know, and I never thought about writing a series. And then in college, actually, I wrote 2 independent feature films, horror films called Homecoming.
Wow.
And I did those, and those were fun, but still it wasn't something that I wanted to do because I always wanted to act. Well, I wanted to create a LGBT themed type show. I had never played a gay character before. Every time I go in for a gay audition, I'm told I'm not gay enough.
There you go, kids.
What are y'all talking about?
Or it's either you're not gay enough or you're too gay. Can you tone it down? Or
Right.
it's just,
I mean, because I feel like the industry was looking for gay stereotypes at the height of it. They want someone, and like, listen, they said, I remember I went into one audition and they was like, "You're not gay enough," and I was like, "Last night I was."
Okay.
I mean,
I had any complaints
I
with that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I see
But-
gay enough then.
but no, I went in and I said, you know what? I'm gonna write down this idea of something that I want to do, and maybe we can talk to people that can come in and help write it, and maybe we can film something. I think the beginning was gonna be like a talk show. Actually,
Well, originally, yeah, because we had gotten to a point where we were like, well, we need to just start creating our own content. Like,
How long do you guys know each other?
Let's see, 6, so we're 18, like 12 years now. Going
Oh,
on.
wow.
Yeah, we're
That's a
coming
long
along
time.
married.
But then, well, no, yeah,
Still
we're
single.
like commonly But no, we met in 2006 in college, junior college, and then moved in together in like 2017, like that next semester. And then since then, we just lived together, Texas, moved up to New York together. So
You from Texas also?
yeah.
Yeah.
Lubbock, Texas, Breckham Tech. Eh.
I love it. Okay, so you're thinking we gotta write our own stuff.
We got to write our own content. So we had sat down and talked about doing a like a talk show called like Tex in the City, and
Tex in the
That's
City.
right.
Tex in the City.
Hilarious.
That is right.
we were
That's
gonna
what
do
it was
that,
gonna do.
and we just couldn't really get an idea of a format of how we want to do it
Okay.
because we know how to view and the talk and everybody does that.
Yes.
But we were like, how do we want to do this? You know, I mean, I still think it can be an interesting idea.
Yeah,
No
right.
one steal it. I've already copyrighted it.
Oh dang. Okay, smart.
But you know, then I said, you know, what if we do a play about gay people? So I started writing down ideas to do Pride as a play, and I was going to do that because we live in New York City, which obviously is
Very heavily.
huge
planned.
theater capital of the
Broadway,
world.
right.
And
Yes.
when I started writing it out, it started writing out almost like a film, but I was like, I can only write 15 minutes of this, like, and then
okay.
I went out. I remember running out of my room and said, guys, we're gonna do a web series. 'Cause
Yeah.
back then, now we call them digital series.
Yeah,
back then it was
web
like
series.
a web series, and I said I want to do this. We decided, okay, we're gonna do this, and I had no idea how budgets or anything worked. So I thought, well, we can do at least 12, 13 episodes and get like a couple $1,000s.
Oh, okay, sure.
Just kind of whatever, but
Yeah.
no, like in the beginning, it was just kind of like, well, you know, we want to create our own content. This is for fun. This is what we want to do. We just want to put a message out there, and then it kind of just morphed and then slowly turned into this, and then it was like, oh well, we actually have the option of doing this, and it's like, all right, well, let's go down this road.
Yeah.
And so it just seriously was like a snowball effect, and then
I love that happen. I love when you start
we're
something and the path lays itself out for you.
exactly, it's kind of what happened. It just kind of melded and just
Yeah, and
into
I
its
mean-
own big beautiful creature.
I mean, obviously, obviously, I am the creator of the show, but I really give like credit to Adam, to Braden Bradley, and to Ashley Mitchell, who Braden was our roommate at the time. He also stars in the show, for helping me come to where this show did the initial idea of it. We created it, coming up with different things and whatnot, and they were like, we got to film this, we got to do this. And then the show has continued. Teresa Kelton's on board, and she's came in with a heavy creative voice that's really amazing. Whitney Hoyer was producing with us as well.
You've been out since 2014, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was the first season that came out. Look at you doing your homework.
Okay, ain't my first time at the rodeo.
Yes, 2014 was the first season, and as you know, with digital series, budgets and getting funding and financing can be really, really difficult.
Yeah.
So we came back. When I brought Teresa on board, she was like, "All right, let's do it," and I was like, "What?"
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
I
she
love
came-
it. Do her. I love it.
Teresa's a beast.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that girl can produce with her eyes closed and hands tied behind her back.
Yeah.
And she came in and she produced one hell of a second season to do these 3 episodes, really focusing back on the characters how I wanted to. Was just wonderful. So I created the show again for people who didn't have a voice, or people who didn't feel they didn't have a chance to have their a lot of people move to New York and LA and they're saying, well, we're just going to hit the pavement and audition. People, create your own content.
Well, they're doing it more and more now. So,
Make it happen for yourself, because if you sit back and you wait for that one call or that one time you walk in the audition room, it might be a while. So
And there's so many actors, directors, cinematographers out there who are in Hollywood, New York, just want work to do on the side.
Exactly. Yeah, there's so many people who are willing to just do work.
Yeah.
And it's like, they may be a little like bougie, and you may have to pay them a little something.
But you know,
whatever.
they're there.
Like, right, yeah, there's always going to be something.
Everybody's waiting for something. So like there are people that are waiting for stuff.
And even
Wanna use
people who aren't technically waiting for stuff that are currently on TV
right.
shows, those people say, you know what,
I know some
not even
of
that,
them.
but they I've been playing the same role for 20 years,
yes.
and hey, if I can come to you for a weekend and film a scene or two and play a character that's completely different than what I played all these years,
Right.
I'm down. I'm in.
We have Eileen Kristen on your show.
We do have Eileen
I love
Kristen.
her.
And she gets to do something different. She's always been very zany.
Oh, yes.
And wacky.
Delia and Roxy. I mean, yeah, she was totally.
Delia and Roxy are quite a mess.
I
And
know.
they should definitely bring Delia back. Well, first of all, screw that. They should just bring One Life to Live back, and we wouldn't have to worry about this.
That won't happen.
No. Well,
It won't.
crazier things have happened.
Crazy things happen, but I don't get anybody's hopes up. Then I bring back All My Children, One Life to Live. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. It's
ABC just doesn't care.
yeah.
They just don't.
And it's a huge
It's
loss,
like- it is.
It's not only a huge loss to the genre, but it's a huge loss to viewers who really needed something like that. We said something at the top of the hour about people needing someone to talk to. For a lot of people, soaps was that outlet. They would go in and they would watch soaps to have this escapism from reality. I mean, that's why we watch television shows for the next hour. We're going to be lost in this. It doesn't matter if it's a soap, RuPaul's Drag Race. It's like, I want to escape the world right now for just a minute, escape my life for a minute, and I'm just going to watch my stories, whatever that story may be.
Because I know a lot of people who I know a lot of One Life to Live people and All My Children people. A lot of them are my friends. Some of them have worked on other shows. Some don't. And I felt bad they went off the air, and I felt bad that Prospect Park couldn't pull together either on online either.
Yeah.
It was a very much when it came out, it was ahead of its time a little bit. But they just had a lot of mishaps. And let me sip some more tea.
I was there for that. Here's what I will say about
remember
this in a
that.
positive light.
Yes.
The actors worked their ass
Well,
off.
I'm saying, it's not the actors. So
No,
yeah.
and the team,
Yes.
who was writing, Sonia Blandrado, who's also a consulting producer on our show, she was doing an amazing job directing over there. Jen Pepperman was great over
Yeah,
there.
I know.
Ginger
Yeah.
Smith was amazing, and everyone put their best foot forward. I think what it was is you had a break in between the shows. And when you have a break and then you have a time's up of like, all right, well, if you don't produce something in the next 3 weeks, the rights are going to go away. And
Right.
at that time, and as you say, still ABC didn't care. And so Prospect Park was like, okay, we have a chance to do something. Let's try. But then when you, like Adam was saying, you get people in, certain actors, you have to pay something. You know, it does get to a situation of like, how are we going to do this? And a lot of people was like, all right, how are we going to do All My Children without Susan Lucci?
Yes.
How are we going to do that? And it's like, how are we going to do One Life to Live without certain actors?
1 second.
Oh,
I'm like yes. Okay, there you go.
I was bouncing.
I was like, sorry.
So, I mean, it's tough, but you know what? I don't say I know anything, but I would say don't give up hope about something.
I live in Los Angeles. I know a few things too. And I'm like, if it happens, I'll be very happy. If it happens, I'll be very happy. If it happens, I would be, or some hybrid of the two or whatever, I'd be very happy.
That might be a great idea. I've always been suggesting either a hybrid of the two, a 30-minute version of each, or, I mean, how do you feel about how GH has been weaving in some of those people?
I love it. I love it.
I love it. I could get in trouble by saying this, but and I'm gonna do it because why not? We're here. This is Black Hollywood Live.
Yes.
I know. I do love it. I think that first of all, Frank Valentine is a genius. I love him not just because he's my boss, but I say
He's been good to you.
He's been so good.
Be careful.
He's my boss. He's amazing. I think what the struggle is I think when you bring characters from other soaps, it's really hard to write for them in the same vein.
That's true.
I loved when Hillary B. Smith came over as Nora. To me, it didn't really seem like Nora, but it was Nora. You know, and
But they mentioned Erica Kane that other week.
they did.
They mentioned her.
They mentioned her, and they do those and those little Easter eggs.
kind of fun.
Always really feel
That's fine.
good.
That's fine.
You know, sometimes when Alex Devane came over, she didn't seem like Alex to me, but she was Alex. You know, I think it can be really difficult. But I give writers all kind of props, and that's why I want to leave on that conversation because those writers had to take on a task of like, okay, we may not have invented this character or wrote for this character in their initial creation, but we're gonna do our damnedest to have it facilitate this particular story. So I think that Frank Valentini cares about the genre, and I think that he's going to continue to bring those characters over because he cares about the fans. And I know fans out there be sending some tweets, they be hating, they be saying some things, but the man literally kept General Hospital in the air. So
I keep trying to say to people, and they scream at me.
You can say what you want,
Yes.
but the man kept the show in the air because it was about to go just the same as All My Children.
Hello, folks. That's not even a joke. That's the truth. And I don't try to say it to us. And I understand if you don't like certain storylines, it's fine.
Yeah.
You have rights not to like them. You don't want to watch it and stop watching it. But to keep hating on it and demanding for his head, off of his head and all that stuff, I'm like, he's keeping it on the air, so...
Yeah, and I mean, do you want the show to go away? Do you want and also, you know, and I said this to you last week in our other chat, I want the fans and people to know that when a character dies off or an actor leaves or something happens, don't always go after the network or the show because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Not every actor who does any form of television wants to play that same role for so long. So fans get and love fans that gets impassioned. I'm a very impassioned fan. But you know, recently when Ryan Pavey was killed
My
off.
buddy, Ryan.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah,
but
very nice
people went in. They literally were like, how could they do this? Frank should be fired. Nathan Varney, everyone at ABC, him and Maxie were so great. And it's like, Ryan went to go do other work.
Yeah. He's on Hallmark Channel right now, folks.
He is. And Killing Mr. Darcy, which is so good.
It is good. No, it's good. I mean, he's and the thing about Ryan, just on a side note, he's a very smart guy. He's really funny. Yeah. I met him and I was like, oh, you're really funny. He's been on my shows and people know that already. But I think the thing is, and it kind of ties into you guys. I mean, you have a vision. This is your vision. Not everybody's going to like it.
No.
Everybody's going to have an opinion.
Right.
So how do you, because, I mean, do you map out the seasons? Do you map out a few episodes at a time? How do you, as a writer, how do you do that?
Well, it's interesting that you say, like, it being our vision and not many people like it. We struggled with season one. Okay. And that's something that I can openly say. Like, season one, we came out with, and a lot of people didn't get the storyline. There's some things that happen. It's a little zany and wacky at certain points. And a lot of people felt like, oh, this is cool up until this point, or this is cool, but I don't really get it. We had a certain section of the hipsters in Brooklyn, love you guys, who loved our show unconditionally, and they were like, oh, we get everything. Like, we're like so zen, we get it. But like mainstream people were like, we're a little confused. Yeah. So we really...
Your show's very New York.
It's very New York.
Yeah, and it feels it. I like it.
But on top of having the LGBT content, our cast is a real... minority type cast.
You know, I love it. It is, yes.
And that's what I love about the show is that there's always some sort of representation. Hopefully that you can see yourself in one of the many characters that we present. You know, Latino, and just any person of color.
With your character, I mean, have you done drag in real life, or is it just for the show?
Just for I'm a huge like RuPaul's Drag Race fan, and then I go to several drag shows in New York as well. But like I want to do it. I guess it's just like I just not done it. But then for the show, we were like, well, let's just do it, and so we did it. And then for the benefit show that we did last Pride, I did a number.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I was like, well, because it was like, well, we have a queen in the show. Why go anywhere else?
What was that like for you, doing a number?
I honestly blacked out. It was like nerve-wracking, exciting.
Yeah.
It was all of the emotions. But as soon as it was done, I like stepped off stage and it was just like,
wow.
But it was great. I had a great time. I'm a performer, so I loved being up there.
What kind of roles do you usually play? Or get?
I mean, usually it's like the older, like either like a dad or
He's somebody's dad.
yeah.
But you look. I know I'm way older than you are. But you don't look that old.
Okay, well thanks.
To me.
And I mean, but that was back in the day. Like that's when I was still like acting on stage and stuff like that. But mostly, I don't know. What would you say?
I would say more
be?
comedic type roles.
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be. I'm like a good source of like comedy. I'll throw in a little one-liner here and there, or like and that's I think for the show I offer some sort of like.
We offer a lot on the show. I mean, seriously, family stuff. I mean, you have a lot of stuff going on.
Of shit, yeah.
Yes, on that
Can I
show.
cuss on the show?
Well,
that's fine.
yeah. Well, you studied in Commedia dell'arte.
Yeah, so I'm
Okay.
like a trained actor in that style and like very, farcical and stuff like
Okay.
that. Over the top, dramatic and stuff like that.
This was really different for us because I mean, Adam and I doing theater growing up, we've always played more comedy type roles.
Mm-hmm.
So playing very dramatic, very emotional,
Sexual.
over the top, sexual. My mama was tight.
I was
My
seriously, I
mama
was
was
like,
tight. I'm telling you, when I got on that counter, it was a wrap. And then the sound, she was like, "What's that?" I was like, "Listen."
Nothing.
Well, I'm from Texas and I'm
Yes.
country, so I said nothing. And she said, and she got even madder because I said nothing, and she thought I meant something else. It was not the tea.
but bump.
Yes.
Right.
All puns intended.
Yes.
Yes. Because I was thinking the other day when I was watching something, I was like, yeah, but he gets to write himself some love scenes and kissing scenes and.
I usually don't have people.
For real, I'm always to this day. I think like the other day, I was like, "Can we please give me a love
Hello?
interest?
Yes.
Give me somebody. Give
I
me
don't
somebody.
want somebody in.
I just want some
his
big old like muscular man, just like some like security guard or something.
He
Just
constantly
manhandle
trying to
me.
change the story. And listen, I actually don't write for Kai. Believe it or not,
Oh.
I don't.
Yeah.
I actually have other people come in. So Ashley, who's an executive producer on the show, and Teresa, and then Whitney for the second season, they actually came in and did a lot of the Kai work. And we also had another writer, Maxwell Martinez. I never write for Kai because I don't ever want to be biased. So and as an actor, I always want to be surprised when the material comes to me. So
Interesting.
I kind of know the outline of where Kai is gonna go, but when it comes to me, I'm like. Like,
Interesting.
I never write for Kai.
Oh.
I usually only write for Travis.
Okay. Yes.
And I write the Harrison and Travis storyline is very, very important to me. I think
another one. It's all over the place.
Yeah, I think that the racial tensions there,
Yes.
as well as the sexual tensions that we're going to explore, is very important to me. So I really write a lot of that. I'm interested in the Trina storyline. I try to have little things there because I've had family members who've had.
I'm glad you guys added that. That's good to add that in there.
Yeah,
It was good.
like we. So for me, those are where I concentrate, but I never know what's going on with Kai really.
See, something exclusive. I didn't even know that, folks.
Exclusive people.
Did I
so,
even know that?
So for people out there who think that we create shows just so we can be famous and write parts for ourselves,
Not in this case.
I was gonna say not in this
Oh,
case,
so I was saying not in this
but
case.
I fully would.
Again,
I'm gonna give me all the love interest.
okay, thank you.
oh well, I guess I'm just the pure blood here.
You are. Let's show the trailer.
Yay.
This is one of the trailers.
You're onto something. But I'm not exactly sure what that is, though.
What do you mean?
This is script writing 101 gone completely awry.
Get that away from me, it creaks.
What?
I've been sober too damn long.
I told you already. I'll smoke the shit till the sun goes down, but I'm not dealing again.
Boys,
when you boys want to tell me what in the hell that is doing in my house?
I just think it would be helpful to have a second pair of eyes.
It blows when someone takes something that you put your whole heart into and they just rip it apart.
Have you talked to your mom about this?
Yeah, I mean, no. Mom.
Oh, my land. Oh. I mean, really, honey, who wants that kind of dangerous lifestyle?
I have nothing to say to that man. He is the reason Mom left.
Son, are you sure your sister wants to see me?
Absolutely. Trina said she's gonna be thrilled to see you.
A special shout out to Eleanor and her husband Robert for hosting my Thea's surprise birthday party.
Travis, you're here. Stay the hell away from me.
I went to Kenny and gave all the shit back. I'm out of the business and I didn't mention y'all.
You think Kenny gives a fuck that you gave the weed back? Just gonna let him leave like that?
Hell no. The nigga just tried to play me, and I don't play.
I had no idea that tonight I was going to be given the VIP treatment from my 2 boys.
If at all possible, I would like to work on our relationship.
Well, I don't.
You and I close this place and christen it.
Okay, so you want to bring him here, and now you want to tell me how to act? Go to hell, Kai.
That is what it is.
Where is he?
Where is
I
it?
read your script.
Really, Lana? You have to get drunk and make a spectacle of yourself?
What's wrong, baby? I thought you liked a good scene. This is just more fucking material.
There you go. So when you look at, because some of the stuff is a while back, so when you look at it, what do you see?
Kai is trifling. That's what I see. I mean, again, which is why I don't write for him, because I wouldn't have him be like that. I mean, he literally told 3 lies in all 3 trailers. You know, I think that I see the progression. That's what I see, and it makes me so proud. I remember season 1, and I really do see the growth in the characters. And I really see some heartfelt scenes in that second trailer with Travis and his mom. I thought that was, you know, that entire scene, Melissa Disney, Braden Briley, they both killed that scene. So I see like my child growing up.
Yes, your
That's
baby.
what I see.
And they can find Pride where? Tell people where they can find it.
You can find season 1 and 2 on Amazon Prime.
That's right.
And season 1 on Tubi TV.
That's right. I love that. Now I want to ask you guys something kind of off. It's still saying, we're talking pride and what pride and all that stuff is. And I want to ask you guys, what does being Black and Latino and gay kind of mean to you these days? You've been doing this series. You're out there doing your life. What does it kind of mean to you guys these days?
I'll let you answer the question first.
Well, for me, I just feel like, especially where we are in this climate that we're in, that I need to be as visible as I can. You know, I remember growing up and not necessarily having a whole lot of gay things around me, so I thought for the longest time I was the only person like me. It wasn't until I left and, you know, stuff like that, but I remember just seeing those 1 or 2 people that were living their, like, truth, and me seeing it was okay. And I was like, okay, well, if they're doing it, so it's okay. This is okay. And so I just think I want to be a better a good representation for the younger people of color, especially Latino, who may not have access to things like I did or anything like that. So I hope that can be a beacon. I don't want to say that. That sounds weird. But like just somebody that they can see and be like, okay, well, he's doing it, so it's okay. I can do it too. And I just say, take your time. You know, not everybody's ready to come out at the same time. And, you know, for me, I guess I knew back when I was like 12, 13. I'd known I was different the whole time, but it wasn't until then I was like, okay, I like boys.
In that voice.
Yeah.
In that voice.
But then it wasn't until, I guess,
college. I think
college, and then a little after that is when I finally like came out like to my mother and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, she had known my whole life as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's different strokes for different folks.
Well, you said something that's really important is that, you know, first of all, take your time. You'll come to, you're not the only person out there. You may think you are,
right?
But you're not. Trust me, you're not at all. You may be the only person you think in your circle, possibly. Maybe not there either. That's how you are. You're not. But it does take time to kind of do that and find out what what exactly are you, so to speak.
Exactly.
And that still evolves sometimes too. Even after you come out, it still evolves.
Yeah.
Exactly what are you? Because that's like one stop. There's other stops.
Exactly. It's like I came out and it was like, all right, cool, that's step one. And then it was like, okay, let me keep working on myself. And it wasn't until maybe a couple years ago that I finally felt comfortable as a like gay Latino man in my own body. Like it took me forever to like love myself and love my body. I'm still working. I'm a work in progress.
Yeah, right.
But like I feel so much more confident in myself and how I carry myself, and you know, it takes time, you know.
But you brought a good point too about the whole, because there's a part of us, you know, black folks have their own kind of history with this. Latino folks have their own history with this too. A lot of times they're morally conservative most of the time.
Yeah.
Very churchy. We all kind of grew up that way. So you say trying to find your way of being Mexican and gay. What does that mean? I used to hate the question, are you this first or that first? Or that, like, there's no this or that first.
Right.
It's just you're finding a way to mix it together, right?
Yeah. I guess
whatever that means.
I did grow up very religiously. I did my like communion.
Oh, yeah,
I was
same. We did all
Catholic
that,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. But I guess I was lucky. I mean, I don't know. Mom never gave me shit for it or anything.
Okay.
And like I came from a very like loving and supportive family. I'm very, very blessed and lucky.
You still talk to them and everybody?
Oh yeah, like I try and go home as often as I can, and it's always a big like kiki when I go home. So I was very lucky that I didn't have to deal with anything like dramatic or anything like that. But it, you know, I do know other people who have told me like, you know, their parents don't talk to them anymore, or, like they have no communication anymore and stuff like that. I mean, that happens, and
it's so sad.
It's unfortunate.
It is.
But luckily, we get to choose our family.
Yes.
And you know, I'm very happy, blessed, so lucky that the family that I've chosen, who have accepted me, like I wouldn't be able. I don't know where I would be without Dorell here. Like, yeah, because when we first met, I was a little baby gay. Like, I think I told him, I was like, no, I got a girlfriend back home.
He was like, I literally was driving my old hoopty. That's a car for y'all who don't know.
Right.
And I'm driving, and Adam's in the back seat. I don't know why he was in the back seat. Uber wasn't even around then. But anyway, I'm driving, and I asked him, was he gay? And he was literally like, no, I have a girlfriend. I said, But you know what?
Girlfriend.
But like Adam said,
I mean, she was my girlfriend.
Yeah, but they were shopping. They were shopping.
Right.
And what Adam said is very, very important, because everyone, it takes time. I know in kindergarten there's a rumor that I was like trying to like kiss little boys. I don't know, but you know, so I guess I always knew that I was gay. In the first grade, I wore a pink Power Ranger suit under my clothes.
Oh, funny.
And I had Barbie dolls that I took to school. And I always thought, I wonder how my mom's going to take this. And something just clicked in my mind right now.
Oh, tell me.
My mom's the one who bought me those things. How else was I going to get them?
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Like, how else was I going to get the pink Power Ranger? I was 6, 7 years old.
You don't think about that.
You don't think that, like, you struggle and you're like, oh, my parents going to have a horrible time with this. You know, how am I going to struggle? So sometimes I put myself through stress of coming out to my mom that I didn't need to do.
Exactly. I was like, oh, it took me this long to come out to my mom, but
who else got me? I mean, she literally got me the pink Power Ranger suit and Barbie doll. I didn't go get it myself. And my mom used to always get me ready for school, so she knew I had the pink Power Ranger suit on. She had to.
Yeah, right.
So when you think about things at that age and you get to the point of now, you're like, your family has always been your biggest supporter, even when you didn't know it. And a lot of times your family get upset with you because they ask you, are you gay? And then you lie, and they're like, a lie is worse than just being honest. I mean, for me, being black and gay, it's very difficult. I've been blessed with the people I surround myself with, the confidence that I walk into rooms with, because the black community can be very, very tough. I was just saying the other day, I used to be very terrified of going to an all-black club because, you know, I can twerk.
Yeah, okay.
And when I'm dancing or doing anything,
I used to twerk years ago.
Yes, twerking is an exercise.
It's like riding a bike. Once you do it,
you do it, you can.
When you're 200 and something pounds, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do it
can
anymore.
twerk.
You can twerk. I know. I can see it.
Yeah.
All in the hips.
But I know that, like, those things for me it's very tough because we used to walk. Remember at TJC when we were at junior college, there was a place where everyone ate lunch at
the student center.
The student center, and every time walking by, I remember we used to text each other and say, "Hey, you want to walk with me to the student center?" Because we would walk by and the insults that we would hear from everyone who was black. It was nothing but black and Latinos in Tyler. So everyone who stood outside, who we thought, well, they will like us first because of our color, and then the gay will come second. I would have to butch it up, believe it or not.
Yeah.
When we walked past there, we would have to walk by and not have a certain walk or not have a certain mannerism because we didn't want to hear the insults of being called every name in the book. And it finally got to a point where I was like, okay, I remember walking in the theater one day, and this car pulled up beside me, and it was like two black guys, and they literally said, "Your daddy would be ashamed." They yelled it out the window. And I looked back at them and I was like, okay, like whatever, you know. Words hurt, and people say, "Oh, sticks and stones," and I'm like, yeah, but sometimes that can lead to what's been going on in the world today.
Definitely. You both said something that's important too. When you're a person of color, a lot of times that is first what people see.
Yeah.
And as we all know these days, and I had an experience in West Hollywood 2 years ago at a 7-Eleven with a SWAT team. Being black first or being Latino first is what they see.
Yeah. Exactly.
We have a little different than white gays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Asian, so you're Asian first, or you're Asian.
Get him on his soapbox. He sat right up.
Because
seriously, it's still right, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, so I got a little into some trouble in a New York gay bar. And basically, to cut a whole long story short, it was basically the white manager said he did it.
Of course.
And I mean,
I hate to say that, but of course.
Yeah, and there were no questionings. There was no like sobriety testing or anything like that. It was just a white man pointed
at this. We can talk real if we need to.
Yeah, I just felt like I felt like a white man pointed at a brown person, and it was just like, that's a wrap. And so, of course, I got hauled in, but I did my time. I paid my dues. Right. Everything's good.
But the whole point is that happens. Because we are people. And there's also, folks, I hate to tell you this, there is racism in the gay community.
Ooh, there is. I mean,
you'd be shocked if you think, well, you're gay, so why would you have racism?
Oh, it's terrible. When we first started going to, like, I don't want to call it twink bars, but those type of bars.
It was more clubbish.
It was more clubbish.
It was more clubby.
You have to look a certain way.
Yes.
And most guys in there put on their muscle shirts or take off their shirts. And that's what I thought was so beautiful about LA Pride yesterday. Because there were so many people who were just living in their bodies, being their best self, being their most honest self. And I thought that was beautiful. And as we have progressed, we realized that we can't fight within our own community if we're going to have all these other issues. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's really tough. And we go to a gay bar in New York City called Rock Bar. It's classified itself originally as a bear bar.
Oh, okay.
But it's all inclusive because as we've been going there recently, you see all different shapes and sizes and colors of men.
Variety.
And you see a lot of women who end up going there because they're like, this is great.
Well, bear, I'm a little older than all of you guys in this room. Back in the day, a lot of the bear and leather communities would accept black and Latino folks.
Yeah.
If you were if you fit, if you kind of fit the kind of criteria. And if you didn't, sometimes they were fine. If you were with somebody who was a bear, they come on in.
Right. Yeah.
Because they knew that they were still a minority in the gay community at the time.
Exactly, right.
Because you're not having the six-pack abs, or you're blonde and blue-eyed, or whatever it is. I mean, it's so interesting that you said about that. It's like, I'm not surprised to hear that kind of story.
Yeah.
And you don't mind women coming there and coming in.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there was a place that wouldn't let one of our women friends.
I've been places like that.
Yeah, it was, I don't want to, like, be defending of them. It was like what am I trying to say? It was a specific kind of night. And it was just like
and he drugged me there against it wasn't my free will. I did not want to go.
Wasn't your free will?
No, I didn't want to go.
I had a hard time believing it. Dorell Anthony has no free will.
Right. I'm pretty sure they drugged me now.
I mean, probably. Let's classify
the
word drug. Hello, this is 2018. People think.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're not like drugged.
Yeah, I don't need people thinking I'm putting stuff in people's drinks.
I know.
I can't be doing all that.
We met something else.
Right.
Like took him there, but
pulled him,
grabbed me, took me to.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I did not grab him by the. You know what though? That's for someone else.
Because you guys are buddies.
Yeah.
You guys don't do that. You guys are like sisters or brothers.
Yeah,
or,
we're like sisters. We don't kai.
No. I cannot. I hate them so much.
I love it. I can talk to you guys forever, and it sucks that it goes by so fast.
It did go by so fast.
Okay, so I have to ask this question, you guys. It's a question I ask every single guest. So 120-some people answered this question, or a little more than that, answer this question. I believe in language. I believe language can propel us forward or hold us back. First question for each of you. You can decide who answers first. What word in the English language or phrase should we not say anymore?
Oh man.
Make you work for it a little bit. Come here. Maybe a word or a phrase you think we should just stop saying?
You know what word really grinds my gears?
Ooh, tell me.
Moist.
It's just so funny. Some people like, I love the word moist. People hate that word.
I hear a lot of people don't either. I don't like the word moist, and I also, and this is just of course personal, I don't like the word fag either. I think we should get rid of that.
Okay.
Those be.
That's similar to the N word. Of course, I get that a lot on here a lot of times.
Yeah, I don't think it should be said. It's like a painful. I don't know. A certain pain goes through my body, which is different than when someone says the N word to me. Because
is it really?
I'll say because Whoopi Goldberg talked about it on The View. I don't know if y'all know, but I do watch The View.
I met Whoopi Goldberg, so
yes,
I love her.
I want her to play my grandma in Pride. If you're watching, Whoopi, please play my grandma. And girl, we'll pay you whatever. Not much though going on. But
yeah, do it for me. Do it for me, Whoopi.
But you know people's intention behind the word.
Yes.
And with fag, I just feel like that intention is always really bad. I've never really heard. I know some people in the gay community will call each other.
They reclaim it. A lot of people and a lot of our friends.
My late brother would make it comedic at times. He was gay. He would make it comedic. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
Exactly. Like we do have a friend who says it, but it's always in a way like he's reclaiming it. And I'm making it my own. I'm not trying to be like degrading. However. And I agree with Dorell as well. Like the word, it just hits my ear wrong.
Yes.
Even if we are kiking and like just having a good time or whatever, but as soon as it comes out, it's like, girl, like no.
I understand that.
You know?
Okay.
But
what's his word?
I mean, I don't
phrase?
know. I don't know.
You gotta get on the record. Come on, you get on the record.
I know. Oh my god, I honestly don't even know. And I know I've probably thought of something today that I was like, girl, everybody needs to stop saying that.
Okay, folks, he's the first one. He can't get me one.
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
No, you're second person. Somebody got me a word later, and they couldn't do it really later.
Right,
well,
I'll think of it in a second.
Okay.
Or hopefully, and I'll
well,
tweet it.
Here
I'll text
is
it to you.
the other version.
Okay.
What word or phrase should we say more of?
I'm going to draw a blank.
I'm not. Fuck.
You like that word?
Yes. I love it. I love that word because and the reason why is so many people say not to say it. When people say the F word, they're like, how could you do that? How could you say the F word? Or then they'll put on Facebook F***K.
Oh, yes,
and I'm like, and I put on my Facebook most recently, I said, I'm writing fuck full out. You're gonna know I said it, and it's gonna. I said what I shared what I said.
I said what I said.
And that's
I said
it.
what I said.
And I'm not sorry I said what I said.
Yes,
So.
I like that. Okay, and you can think of a phrase or a word.
My God, no! Why am I drawing a
Anything
blank?
is-
Oh, you know what? I do have one, and I'm probably gonna get some flack for this, but it just annoys the hell out of me.
So this is a word you don't want.
It's a phrase, but if I hear Miss Vanjie one
say
more again,
Oh
I know
my God.
everyone loves her, and she's
Everybody's
gonna win
saying
fan
yes.
favorite, yada yada yada.
Miss Vanjie.
People are saying that a lot right now.
Vanjie.
I know you're trying to start you.
All right, I feel so much better. I've released that off my
Good.
chest. Yeah.
See, that's what I do here breaking into.
He gonna get canceled.
I know. Don't drag me.
I actually have something for you.
Oh my God! Yes,
I
I
have
love
something
it.
for you. You know, I want to bring gift. So
We got it?
you
Okay.
have been one of our hugest supporters.
I am.
So I'm going to show you this. So I want to give you these 2 exclusive Pride bracelets. One of them has our Pride website, and this one was exclusive to LA Pride on the weekend. Be cinematic. At Pride the series.
Yeah,
hashtag
the
embrace
LA
your
Pride hashtag just be you, be proud.
Just be you, be proud, which is what we've been talking about. And
Yes,
as you can see, we're wearing exclusive Pride shirt
I know, I love the
merchandise
shirts on
made
the
by
show.
Flannel Fly. Thank you so much, Randy, for the awesome shirts.
Thanks.
We want to present this to you.
Everybody's clapping.
Yes.
Yes.
You see,
It's so
this is for
cute.
Jane.
I love it.
We love you and thank you so much. It does have a blunt on there, but it's legal in LA, so make it work.
I know. I'm so used to like having to like hide. And
is
everyone's like, what are you
legal,
doing?
It is legal. I'm gonna put it on for our pictures. Thank you so much.
Yes,
No, thank
absolutely.
I know
Of
what
course.
what you guys are doing is to me akin to. I remember hearing Nichelle Nichols talk about being on Star Trek. It's how she wanted to leave, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said to her, "You have to stay on. You just being there at that counter on TV, the only one black woman on there, is making things happen."
Right.
And so you guys are changing lives.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for being here. And tell people in that camera where they can find you on social media.
You can find me at Dorell Anthony on all 3 aspects of social media for Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Slide into my Snapchat, it's fine. Pride the Series, you can find Pride at Pride the Series on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter as well.
And you can find me at Adam A. Rios, at Rios, on Facebook, Snap, Instagram. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, Pride, hashtag Pride the Series, hashtag Embrace Your Pride.
Go to Facebook, go to the Breaking Into page. You'll be able to find there's more about the series, trailers there, clicks. You can go there and they'll take you to where they are. You can follow me, of course, for all James Lott Jr.'s are sold at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. And today it's my 3-year anniversary for my radio show, the Super Organizer Show at James Lott Jr. You can go to iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Spreaker.com to hear my 2-hour extravaganza. 10 guests that came on before were on today, so I'm very excited about that show, and thanks for that.
Right.
Thank you for watching this show, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us, info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.